How's the body, Marcus?
Body's good. I'll have a big training session today, go through my paces, but yeah, I think I'm ready to go, touch wood.
Good to hear. What has been the issue?
I had a little nick in my calf, so yeah, that's just been something that's kept me out for, I don't know what it's been now, 10 days or so.
It seems like you've trained pretty strongly during that time. Can you kind of explain why you could train but not play over that period?
Yeah, so I haven't bowled, and I've been batting. I've been bowling off like a shorter run, done my usual batting, but haven't sprinted either and changed direction and all those sort of things. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it just meant anything at that higher intensity, I probably wasn't ready to do.
When did it happen?
Happened in the Pakistan game, but before I bowled, so which was a good sign that yeah, things are all right.
Looked like you were close to playing against the Dutch. You were doing a bit of bowling before the game.
Yes, I think actually no, I was no chance of playing against the Dutch. I was closer to playing against New Zealand. Yeah.
And there was a chat we saw you have with Andrew McDonald and George Bailey before the New Zealand game in Dharamshala. Was that about that? Like, was that about how close you were to playing?
Yeah, I knew just before training that it wasn't going to be able to work out timings wise, and I was obviously I'm pretty stubborn, so I push pretty hard, but the timings didn't work, and you got to respect these injuries and stuff like that.
Also, that's what the chat was like. You're being stubborn and like.
Yeah, it was mainly me being stubborn, and yeah.
You've had some really long training sessions throughout this World Cup, despite the niggles. Was that part of it, like, or is that just you being ready for, say, the eventuality of bowling a longer spell or batting for long periods?
Yeah, I've been spoken to about maybe training too much there, so that's a nice observation there. Thanks for adding fuel to that. Yeah, so that's just part of, I guess, training, especially over here in India. You got the facilities all the time. You got net bowlers. It's been part of how I train in the IPL, which has helped me a lot. So it's a mixture of a few things, plus probably a bit of just enjoying it.
Having niggles on top of niggles, is it concerning or frustrating for you?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Concerning, less so. I mean, you're always worried about getting injured to an extent, and you don't want to miss big games, and it's a big tournament and that sort of stuff. So it's more just frustrating, but luckily I'm at an age now where I've dealt with a few of them, so.
With the Glenn Maxwell thing, I mean, you're really close to him. Yes, it's a freak injury, but he's had a few of them. Just can you take us to the scene of the incident? Were you there, and like how he's been tracking ever since?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was one of those things that unfortunately happened with, boys being boys to an extent. But I didn't see him fall off the card or anything like that, so I can't really talk about that part. But I saw him yesterday. He's in good spirits. He's in Glenn Maxwell spirits. So I, again, can't speak too much in terms of medical side, but I think he's back. I'd hope he's back very soon, yeah.
So Mitch Marsh has had to go home. How's he going?
Yeah, Mitchy's flown home late night last night. He's got a family issue going on, and like we all know, family's very important, and the most important really. So he's doing the right thing, and he's getting home, and he's seeing the people he needs to see. And then I don't think there's a timeline on when he's coming back, but I'm sure he'll do what he needs to do at home and then get back. And he sent a message last night saying, I'll be home for a little bit and then I'm coming back to win this World Cup. So that speaks to his mindset, I think.
Can you just put his absence into perspective? I mean, he's such a popular member of the side. Everyone speaks of how much energy he brings to the side. Not having him around, even if it is for a few days during a World Cup campaign.
Yeah, I think even hitting the nail on the head there, you miss him off the field or in terms of his energy and around his personality around the team as much as we're going to miss him on the field. But we've got you can pretty much see how the team's going to line up anyway, and there's bases covered. I joke with him that he just passes the overs back to me now, and thanks for that. But the bases are covered, but we will miss him, and he'll be back soon, and the train keeps rolling.
Is it, yeah, good one. Yeah, you're happy with yourself there, mate. Yeah. You feel like I'm a bit rattled by that. Yeah. You feel like you're pretty well covered. I mean, you'll basically have 13 players to pick from for this game. You feel like you can cover it.
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously, ideally, I get through today. That covers some overs. Heady ideally can bowl some of Maxi's overs as well, and the batting lineup lines up well. So I think it's all obviously there's a few moving parts, and so I don't want to use the word of not ideal because this is but we'll cover those sort of things and get back onto the on track after this.
You feel like Cam Green's the obvious replacement then if you come in as well, the two of you replacing Marsh and Maxi?
Yeah, I think so. Could get in trouble for saying that, I don't know, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, how's he going, mate? Like it's been a long year for him. Like he spent lots of time over here. It's probably the biggest year of his career. Have you how's he going, and B, have you kind of spoken to him as a mate, fellow West Australian?
Yeah, it is a big year. I think that's it's exciting for him in that he would have been dreaming about big years like this and doing all these tours and being in the IPL and Test Tour in India and Ashes series and it's just part of being a cricketer now, and you, to an extent, the quote, be careful what you wish for sort of thing, but then you go through it and it is a lot. And so, but that's a great thing for him, and he'll learn from that. And but he's actually going really well. He had a long session yesterday as well. As long as you feel like you're learning and you're getting better, I think as a cricketer, it's easier to be on the road and spend that time away.
Yeah, and it's hard. Sorry, Barrett, but it's hard that lower order role. Like you're still learning it, and that kind of on top of everything else he's learning. Have you kind of spoke to him about that? Yeah,
we speak about that quite a lot. So it is a new role for him again. He's got 3 formats he's playing. He's batting completely different in each format. And this is an exaggerated one as well, with batting down the order in white ball cricket. So, it's hard because you tinker, you change things. You don't want to lose too much on your red ball format and all that sort of stuff. But he's good. He'll figure everything out.
Personality-wise as well, Marcus, you've spent time with different players around the world who do what Cam Green has done this year of being on the road all the time. Like as a senior player, you put an arm around him. Like talk about those things as well. I mean, not everyone can do that consistently and perform on and off the field. So, have you had like conversations with Cam about that?
Yeah, we talk. Just I've known him for a long time from being at Western Australia as well. So you sort of feel like the unofficial big brother. Me and Mitchie feel like that towards him probably. But he's good. There's it's one of those parts of cricket that you just have to go through and have to learn to be on tour. You have to learn to switch your mind off and do something else, find something else. If you don't do it now, you're going to do it next year, or you're going to do it the year after. And it's just about learning what helps you get through those sort of times where it's long periods away from home and that sort of thing.
As a big brother, then, like, have you seen that growth in him in this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think, and I actually think he deals with it really well. It's just the fact that it's still hard. A lot of people deal with things really well, but it doesn't make it easy. So, yeah.
You touched on the boys being boys element to what happened with Maxi. Clearly, it's unlucky, but does the group or players or cricketers in general, having seen a few of these incidents across the board, need to be smarter with some of the decisions they make, or just one of those things?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's like you need a mum on tour, Don't do that, that sort of thing. Look, there does seem like there's been a few accidents in the broader cricket community. But, I mean, yes, it's like we're saying with Greenie, we're away from home for a long time, and doing things that you're not really thinking is going to be at risk of anyone hurting themselves. And so it starts to be, where do you draw the line? You stop doing one thing, then I don't know. It is hard. But I do agree with you that there's been a few little injuries throughout the cricket community, and
And just on the bowling, Marnus is always keen, but do you think he's going to roll his arm over at all? And I was working on his offs and leggies in the nets last night.
Yeah, very observant. He was working on his offs and leg spinners yesterday to Smithy. And Smithy gave him a bit of firm feedback right between the eyes. So I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, I was in the net next to him and I could hear that. So and then also between Marn, Smithy and Davey bowling in that warm-up game against Pakistan, that we haven't let them forget that as well, talking about when they're in the field and they come out to long on and tell the bowlers what to bowl and say it's not that hard, just keep it here, sort of thing. It's nice for you guys to come on our side of the fence.
How many overs could you bowl in a game if you were asked? Could you bowl the full 10?
Yeah. My plan's to just go hard now, go out there and then whatever happens really.
So are you, is there any sort of feeling there's a bit of a silver lining in that you actually haven't put your best team, or not everyone's been available for every game, and yet you're still sort of won 4 in a row and on a roll?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're getting towards, everyone says in tournament play, you want to be playing your best cricket towards the end of the tournament. There's been moving parts, hasn't been the smoothest campaign, and we have gone from losing the first couple to now sitting in the top 4. So there is a silver lining there, and it always feels good when you walk towards the finals and boys start coming back into the team and that sort of thing. We saw it with Heady last game, so it could be our secret weapon.
And what about Modi Stadium? Have you played there, and what are you expecting on Saturday?
Yeah, I played there quite a bit. Beautiful stadium. I don't know how many it holds, 120?
32.
Yeah, 120,000-ish. So we'll see how that crowd goes tomorrow. The facilities are good. It'll be exciting to see how the wicket plays and how many people turn up.
On Travis Head, you played a shot yesterday and you shouted out to Travis. How freakish is he as a batter? And since we've played a lot of cricket with him, against him, I mean, yes, there is David Warner, there's Steve Smith and Marnus, but just some of the shots he plays, does it stand out as freakish, like we describe it?
Yeah, I think his attitude is freakish. He's got a great ability to rock up into a big situation, and whether he feels the pressure or he doesn't, it's hard to tell, and that's contagious to the team. To put into perspective, that last game, he's come early out of breaking a hand, has hardly had a hit. Lots of people questioning, should you play, should you not play? And he's rocked up and hit 2 free hits in the first 10 balls for 6 and then gone and made 100 off 60. It's super impressive, not only talent-wise, but mentally. It's very good.